player, sound engineer, and everything in between. Today, I'm going to answer the simplest of all the questions that I get asked a lot by you guys. And that is, what is the best guitar effect for me or processor for me? Now, I'm going to divide that question into two parts, two very important parts. One, what type of music are you playing? Number two, who do you want to sound like, or how do you want to sound? So that's a two-part of that question. Also, there's the question of budget, real estate, and all that good stuff. We'll get to that later. So the big question is, who do you want to sound like, or what sound are you trying to recreate? Do you want a heavy guitar sound? Do you want a solo guitar sound? Do you want to play atmospheric stuff? Do you want to play on other people's project? Do you want to compose and write your own songs? Those are the questions that doesn't seem to fly around a lot. So I will simplify it into two things. When you're deciding to get a processor for yourself, either a digital processor or an analog processor, either a soft processor or an hardware unit, your goal has to be very clearly defined for you to get the right equipment for you. So if you want a big, heavy sound, you want to lean towards processors that will produce that. If you are writing for yourself and playing for other people, you want to get a versatile multi-effects unit, which can work for different type of scenario. I play a lot of sessions and I have different demand for different tones. I cannot fill my whole house with all the gears that I would need to produce and to create the sounds that my client asks for. So a multi-effect processor is the best unit for me for the case scenario that I produce. Do I have some hardware units? Yes, I do. Do I have real amps? Yes, I do. But at the core of what I do, these multi-processors are the things that I use. If you are just an hobbyist and you just want to play guitar for yourself, you might be fine with just an amp and a couple of pedals. You'll be able to create more sound that you'll need. So let's get into what those pedals are and how to decide which one to get for yourself. So if you are going to play for other people, or play in a worship settings, or you want to play in bars, or play with a band or a cover band or whatever it is, you will be better off going with a multi-effect unit. What are the multi-effect? They are digital processors. They have your amp, your sims, and your cabinet simulations. They have pedals simulation, they have effect simulation, modulation effects, ambience effects, and so much more. The good example of these are the Line 6 HX Stomp that I use, the Pod Go, the Line 6 Pod Go, and the HX effects if you have an amp. Other manufacturers are also the Boss pedal, which makes really nice pedals, multi-effects, GT5, GT10 for bass players, and GT100 are amazing unit. They have a whole lot of other effects. Boss actually make analog guitar pedals as well, so you can check those ones out as well. So the digital stuffs are just as good in my opinion, and all the experts will agree with me. Another company that makes great ones are Hotone and Pero. They are really budget multi-effect processors, and they work just as well. I've heard great sounds from them. I've seen people use them and get great tones. A good friend of mine also actually uses that unit and gets great tones out of it, so no problem there whatsoever. Zoom also make really nice effects. I started using Zoom G5, was my first major guitar pedal, and up till to this day I still love it. Or if you want to go into more rack end unit, maybe you have a home studio, and you want to rack something up like I have in my back here, the 11 rack is an old unit, but it's a good place to start. It's cheap. You can get it for like $100 or $200 depending on where you're looking and how hard you look. That's a good unit to start with. The Zoom pedals, they range from $150 to $400, $500. They're still all in that budget range. You can also go for like the Line 6 Pod Express, which is a small compact unit as well. I'll put a picture here. Those are like $160. The Tonex is also a very good place to start. These are one unit, all in one unit, that will do a few things for you. They might not do everything, but they definitely cover a lot of ground. Number two, if you are playing for yourself, or you have a structured type of playing, you're a hobbyist, then you might want to go with an amp and a few pedals. One of the pedals you want to get a delay pedal. What does a delay pedal do? It delays your sound. It multiplies the sound and makes it sound, a little bit ambient-y. like when you're in a, you know, in a jungle or somewhere. You want to get a reverb effects, and you want to get one overdrive or a boost pedal to push your amp a little bit more. And you can go another stage by getting like an all-in-one pedal that could do like edge of breakup and also dirty stuff. The Boss DS1 is a very good one for that. Or you can also go with the Ibanez Tube Screamer, or you can go with new model ones like the JHS overdrive pedal or the OCD as well. They're not very cheap, but they'll get the job done for you. I use the OCD. I also have the hard drive from JHS, which are great guitar, overdrive pedals and distortion pedals. You can also do the Boss Blues Driver. It's actually a great overdrive pedal as well. This will push your amp to that edge of breakup, to those tones that you would like to recreate, and it will get you to that place where you need to get to very well. And if you still have something left in your budget, you might want to consider like a vibrato, or a tremolo pedal or chorus pedal, something that can create an illusion and a washy sound. A Fraser, I've been messing around with a Fraser that actually sounds great. You can look around on YouTube for sound samples and just make the right decision. Key thing to remember: if you're getting a multi-effects unit, you want to make sure when you get to a venue or you get to a gig, you're not plugging into the input of any amp on stage. That will be a disaster, because you already have an amp sitting in your multi-effects unit. Plugging into another amp is like plugging in an amp into another amp into another amp. Your sound is going to sound like trash. So always look for an amp that has a power in, or just ask for a clean power amp that is not coloring your tone, or just plug yourself into the return or the send. I usually just plug myself into the send if it has an effects loop. If it doesn't have any of those things, just plug directly into the front of house and ask for a wedge. That way you get the best tone and you're recreating exactly what you have on your pedal board and not clogging up your sound. Or if you have an amp on stage, you can just turn off the amp and cap session on your pedal board. Most pedal boards will have it. Just turn them off and just use the main amp and use your pedal board for effects. That's if you have a digital unit. So another question is, can cheap pedals work in big scenarios? Yes, I actually played a 5,000 audience gig in Texas, and I took the $169 Port Express, and I had a blast. I have a pedal board that's over $2,000, and I used a less than $200 pedal, and I still got similar or good enough result on stage. So yeah, you can actually get away with some of these small units. They sound really good. The tones are great. They might not come with a lot of option, but they do the thing and they do it well. Analog and digital is a huge topic, so I will not be here to say, oh, the analog pedal is sounding better than the digital pedal. There are scenarios where an analog pedal will have an edge over a digital unit, but if you have a digital unit and you know how to work it out, you know how to set it, you know how to set your input and output levels, you know how to mix and put things together, experiment with compression and all that good stuff. In a blind test, most people will notice the difference between an analog and digital pedal. It has come a long way. Back in the days, it was crappy. Right now, you can't really tell the difference. So I'm not voting for either. Gear or knowledge? I'll say get knowledge. When you get knowledge, your gear becomes more useful at any point in time. Yes, your guitar does matter. The kind of guitar you pick does matter. But I'm saying I've seen people cut across different genres with just a Telecaster. So again, knowledge, skills, practice, skills, they're more important than the gear that you use. I've seen people use gears that are cheap and achieve very expensive results. And I've seen people with expensive guitars that don't do crap with them. I've been both. So spend more time learning skills, perfecting your skills, getting knowledge than gears. Gears are great. I have a lot of gears, but I can get by with just one guitar and a guitar pedal. Recording yourself does help. It makes you reevaluate yourself without a sense of judgment, at least to an extent. You can self-criticize yourself for you to get better, but recording yourself and playing back will show you exactly where you are and how you can improve. And sharing that with someone who is better than you can help you get better over time. You can definitely self-teach yourself at your own pace, But it will be better when you get a teacher. A teacher knows where you are, what level you are, and is able to tailor lessons based on your level. YouTube, however, is oversaturated, and it's easy to get lost in that rabbit hole of content, and not having a clear direction and a sense of direction and a well-guided tutorial might just be an effort in fertility. So you want to make sure you have guided instructions, have lesson plans for yourself if you want to self-teach yourself. But overall, I would still recommend having a teacher. You will achieve more with a teacher than you will on your own. That is fact and proven. If you like Q&A like this, my name is Dami. You can subscribe to the channel, and if you have any more questions, you can leave them in the comment below, and I'll get to them, or probably even make a video about them over time. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.